Historyology, we're back.
Yeah. This episode, this concept's gone through a couple of iterations. Originally, I sort of got a bunch of stuff together in a bit of an essay-like form, and I'm like, I'm not going to remember any of this shit. I'm just not going to sit here and read off paragraphs and paragraphs forever.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, maybe if we can get a couple of other people involved, we could be like a game of Jeopardy.
So we got all our friends. They're just off screen. That's why you can't see them.
It's the silent crowd.
This room is full of people that wanted to participate in this.
Silent audience. The Historyologist podcast is filmed in front of a live audience. And then I remembered that I actually have never watched Jeopardy, and there's probably too much to get involved. And by our friends, I ultimately mean Tim, and he's a bit busy at the moment. So today's episode is going to be about historical torture. And
I'm assuming you're not including watching this episode.
I should have done that. Damn.
Or watching this podcast. Just in Guantanamo Bay, they're like, talk! And it's like, well, watch this.
In between the waterboarding, it's like... So, I've landed on historical torture methods, or execution, and the reasons they were justified. There are no victims in today's discussion. Everyone was correctly convicted of their crime. Yeah. And it is what the state has deemed they deserve. So I'm going to introduce the bucket of unfortunate circumstances.
Right.
And I have about 25 historical torture methods, the steps on which the torture was conducted, and then the country or peoples and their reasons for conviction on the card. So I'll hopefully pull out a good one.
Feel free to play along at home.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted it to be a game show, but... Oh, here's a fun one. Hanged, drawn, and quartered. So the punishment, step 1, hang the criminal until near death. Step 2, disembowel the criminal while conscious. Step 3, throw innards into a fire within the criminal's sight.
Right.
Step 4, cut off the criminal's limbs or tie the limbs to multiple horses, making them run in separate directions, ripping old mate to pieces before finally beheading. And he gets step 5, boil flesh from the separated limbs and head. Step 6, take boiled bones and display them in different nearby towns and cities as a deterrence towards other possible offenders. The people's practicing was mostly England. Yes. Greater Britain and the American colonies, which American colonies translates to English. And the reasons for were for high treason against the state, royal family or sovereign, and as a strong deterrence, demonstration of power, spiritual humiliation. That's it.
It seems pretty bleak. I mean, wasn't that what happened to Mel Gibson in The Patriot? No, in Braveheart?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they hung him first, but they definitely...
It's like Henry Wallace or...
Yeah.
You know. But it's the extra details that get me with it. Because it's... you don't need to disembowel the old mate in front of him. You don't need to throw the innards into the fire. So he's like, that's my small intestine over there, kind of.
If you take it out, wouldn't it all still be sort of connected? So it's like, that's... Like, it didn't say they'd chop it off. Like, cut the intestine.
It's just kind of got a cooking thing happening, sort of in...
Grim either way.
I have conflicted feelings reading this wearing the red coat. But I love the dedication. It's the cut off the limbs, or tie them to horses and off they go. And then, but not only do it's then you send all the boiled bones to other towns so other people can be like, oh no, I don't want to be that guy.
This one's rat torture.
Oh,
Not presumably torturing of rats, but so step one: a hungry and terrified rat is placed in a bucket against the criminal's chest. Then the bucket is heated from the outside, and the agitated rat tunnels its way through the criminal's tummy to escape the heat. The criminal has died of death. Sure. The people that practice this, the Dutch Republic, for extracting confessions and information from political and military enemies alike. Elizabethan England.
some of these are better than others. Ling Chi.
Love it already.
Yeah. Or death by 1,000 cuts. Step one, tie the criminal to a post in a public place. Or private, whatever. Step two, start cutting pieces of skin and limbs off the person. Yeah. Step three, continue doing this for a long time or until you run out of things to remove.
Gross.
Step four, crescendo, with either stabbing the heart or decapitation. I really enjoyed this. This was an effort in creative writing on my part. Now, would you have a guess as to what region practiced Ling Chi?
Maybe China.
Yes.
Modern China? Or...
It's funny you should say that because I've got a lot of... Anyway, in China, they did this for high treason, rebellion, patricide, mass murder, school shooters, I guess, rape, but it specifically said when I was looking this up, there is just one example in all of Chinese history in the Ming Dynasty where they did that. So it's kind of like rape, but just this one time.
Yeah.
Political reasons / on the whim of the emperor. Like, sure.
Good for the emperor.
Yeah. In Vietnam, they practice this for high crimes and rebellion. And Korea, even to modern day, high crimes against the state or family. Yeah. And I should have added here, / a living God.
So Kim Jong's just like, death by 1,000 cuts. Do they still actually do it even? This one is called Strappado. Step one, tie the criminal's hands behind their back. Demonstrate. You got to demonstrate the whole thing.
I'm trying.
Suspend old mate off the ground by their wrists. Depending on the desired outcome, add weights. And step 4, leave them hanging suspended until you get bored. Let them go, let them die. So it's like a stress position, I guess, isn't it? Like,
yeah. So you've got your hands behind your wrists, and then you're sort of suspended by that, and then you can sort of apply more weight to make it more or less comfortable. But then, obviously, it's up to you as the torturer, the state-appointed justice official.
Yeah. So it seems to be, I won't read out all the things, but it's sort of all the way across sort of, the Spanish, Italian countries into Afghanistan and Iraq a little bit that did it for, seems to be interrogation methods and punishment. Interesting, it says the Nazis did this as well to break the will of prisoners.
Ooh.
As if the gas chambers weren't enough. So yeah, it seems to be more of an interrogation rather than an execution.
I drifted a little bit. Christ. On my work. Oh, this is a good one. Crushed by elephant.
Oh, lovely.
Step 1, tie the accused to a stake in an enclosure of some sort.
Yeah, much like an elephant.
Step 2, drive trained murder elephant backwards and forwards through the enclosure until the criminal is dead.
So essentially, this is like, or it's finished. Is that all the steps?
Yeah, that is all
Okay.
the steps.
So this is kind
No
of like,
further steps are required.
like one of my favorite stories is when the ancient Roman army sort of first ventured over to Africa and they're fighting the elephants.
Yeah.
Essentially, they're standing there with their swords and spears to an elephant running that way, or
It's
a
like-
line of elephants.
3-4 tons, who knows? Just mass,
Yeah.
running right at you.
Assuming quite a few got trampled to death. That's kind of it.
It's just put criminal in enclosure, run elephant backwards and forwards through enclosure.
Please tell me this went up to modern times.
I still do it in India.
Do they? Legitimately.
Not as a state thing,
Right.
but like
Like
so.
an organised crime kind of thing.
Yeah, so not like the bureaucracy sits down and this is what's on paper, but I'll jump straight to India.
Yeah.
The reasons for this punishment.
I assume Lord Shiva approves of this. Friend of the show, Lord Shiva.
He's all about the elephant head, you know.
He did put an elephant head on his son that he killed and then resurrected.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
India's state-sanctioned reason for doing this: treason, rebellion, military crimes, so cowardice, I guess,
Desertion.
tax evasion. And murder, which is like, you know, that's a pretty standard. You get a
You'd
harsh
be a
thing.
bit stiff if you didn't pay your taxes and you get, you know, instead of like, you know, well, just pay your taxes back plus interest. It's like, no, you don't get
Yeah, but if you just like contextualize it as like, you back in the day, you would have watched Blade. You know, Wesley Snipes. You know,
Yeah.
he went to jail for a couple of years for tax evasion, and if like the U.S. government was like, death by elephants,
down to California Zoo.
toss him in. Just to wrap this up, you know, Carthage, prisoners of war, fair enough. Ancient Rome, they reserved this for mutinous soldiers. Fair enough. Those Spartacus, well, they're slaves, I suppose, but you know, just those, you know, no-nos, you know, elephants. The Sassanid Empire or Persia, refusing the will of the king. Just fun language. It's just like you do this, and you're like, no, and you're like,
King's right.
okay, elephants.
This one's called Poena Kali. I probably said that wrong. There's 6 steps. 6 steps. Step 1, acquire a dog. Step 2, acquire a monkey. Step 3, acquire a rooster. Step 4, and a snake. That's a lot of steps. Place the 4 animals and the criminal into a leather bag and sew it up. And then toss the bag in a river.
I hoped you got that one. That was one of my favourites.
So they seem to have done this in the Roman Empire for parricide, killing of one's family members or parents. According to these notes, the
Which are
animals
true.
in the sack. Well, it's written here, so it must be true. The animals in the sack each had a symbolic meaning related to the unnatural nature of the crime. The dog was a loyal companion, the rooster an innocent creature, the snake a treacherous animal, and the monkey was an imitation of humanity. The combined present emphasizes the perversion of the social and natural order caused by parricide. Kind of makes sense. Like the Roman family was like a
It was a big thing. Like, you know, it's very, very important. You know, you've got the family wall, and you know, the whole family name was, you know, something to live up to and a legacy. And
yeah. It wasn't like these days where it's like, yeah, you got your family. It's kind of like these days your family's kind of like your close friends in a way.
I mean, in the space of a month, I was just like, yeah, I'm English. No, I'm Irish. No, I'm English. You know what I mean?
And again, according to these notes, which are no doubt true, it was practiced in medieval and early modern Germany. So I'm imagining the Kaiser ordering something like this for infanticide, because it was an attempted imitation of Roman law. Some animals were substituted, probably because
Yeah.
they
They didn't have the hands. They couldn't get a monkey.
couldn't get a dog, maybe. I don't know.
Honestly,
Imagine chucking a German Shepherd into a sack. Like, German Shepherd's a big dog. Like, were the animals meant to, like, sort of just thrash around in there and, like, scratch you up? Or
well, I mean, how do you do it? Like, so, all right, so you've got a prisoner, like, let's say,
sack?
how do you get a man into a sack, right, with him thrashing up while you're sewing it up, right? So there's
You have to knock them
that.
out first.
Well, yeah, and then, like, okay, so then you introduce a rooster, then you introduce a snake, then a monkey, and then a dog, and, like, you're dealing with a big bag of...
Like, was it just the symbols, or was it they're meant to, like cut each other up a bit?
I mean, it's a whole bag of chaos. Like the
You never know.
the rooster's going to be sitting there going the whole time, flapping and having a bad time. The snake's going to be doing its thing, right? Everyone's going to getting a bit more bit up. The fucking poor dog. It's
Dog's the one I feel. I like dogs, and
well, it's a symbol of loyalty.
I'm a very loyal person.
Come on, the rack. The rack. And I'm not talking about a good pair of tits. I mean, step one is fasten the hands and feet to rollers or cords at opposite ends of a wooden frame. Step two is to turn the handles and ratchet slowly, pulling the limbs from the criminal in opposite directions until joints are dislocated. So it's kind of just like a pop,
Like
kind of.
stretching them.
Yeah, you're wringing them out. England, the British Isles, did this a fair bit. The rack was used only by royal command, and typically for cases of treason against the crown, especially during the Tudor and early Stuart period.
Yeah.
Mainly dealing with Catholics and political plotters,
I think that's fair.
which is reeking of popery. You're just like,
It's fair enough. If someone's like showing up and they're like, "Have you said your rosary?" On the rack.
yes, I understand about Jesus, but what about Mary? The Holy Roman Empire, which is funny in contrast because they are Catholic.
Well, it depends.
Well, good point. It was used in a wide array of capital crimes where evidence was strong, but confession was required.
We've got the knife. We've got your blood on it. We've got multiple eyewitnesses that put you at the scene.
But we need to hear you say it. Murder, witchcraft, and, quote, other felonies. France, I don't know why I said it that way, used serious crimes, often for political reasons. Seems punitive, honestly. Confirming conviction before execution. So it's very similar to the Holy Roman Empire. Spain and Portugal, primarily to extract confession of heresy, more religious crimes. Netherlands, bracket Dutch, for serious crimes and political plots. I don't like you. And ancient Greece and Rome, so against slaves / non-citizens, to extract confessions for murder and or in the early Roman Empire against those pesky Christians who refused to denounce their faith.
That's fair.
So you're like, Jesus isn't God. Say it. No.
Oh, I got the big one. I think crucifixion was a little bit like every culture just had a slightly different way of doing it. You had your own.
Got your T, got your X.
Yeah.
We're going to be like, oh, mate, and do it upside down. Hey, hell, you can just bang someone up and hang them like that.
And I think also it might be the.
I'm guessing you saw that, yeah.
I'll close that. I forgot what I was going to say. I think us modern people, we don't really know that much about exactly how it functions, because is it the sort of thing where people, like when they're writing about it in the sources, they just sort of assume that you know how it works.
Yeah.
And I just the thing I was crucified. You know, like Crassus crucified 6,000 people in the Appian Way. And
It's so wild.
I can't imagine.
Can't.
I can't imagine that.
You know, there's a funny, and I think I was saying it, or at least I thought it for a while. Someone like, well, with crucifixion in the Roman way, we think like Jesus in the sort of the famous T pose kind of thing, but really, the Romans probably we don't know that's actually how it was because we don't have any surviving, T shapes, or it may have been done in a cross and like an X. And I sort of thought that was an interesting thing for a while. Like, oh yeah, maybe it's just something that's sort of a bit lost and whatever. And then I thought one day, like, well, no. I mean, that might be the case, but it's like the Romans did it. They would know, and they adopted Christianity, and their symbol is the T. So it's probably that. Yeah. I don't need to go further in my exploration.
So I think everyone gets the idea. I think a lot of people would whip the bloke first, or the lady.
A bit of a scourging. I think it's...
Get old mate to carry his or her cross to where it's going to be erected. I think sometimes they nail the hands up or tie ropes.
In Life of Brian, I know it's tied up.
So then, Father...
I think we did
the practice at Roman Empire, of course. You've got here in brackets, famously Jesus Christ. Persian Empire. So supposedly King Darius crucified 3,000 political opponents in Babylon. Never heard of that.
There's nothing more pesky and annoying than a political opponent. But if you finally go, no, I've had enough, stop it, I don't want to hear about any of this nonsense anymore, and you just suddenly just purge and crucify the entire left or right of whatever your country's sort of movement is, then just the next morning you're going to wake up and be like, man, it's quiet. Like, suddenly there's no more arguing. You're just walking down the street and you hear a bunch of moaning.
Ancient Carthaginians were famous crucifiers in Macedonia. Alexander the Great introduced it, apparently. Japan would crucify people right up to World War II. I think in Burma or somewhere around there, they every year for Easter, they do like a crucifixion thing where they actually crucify someone, like nail their hands into the... Like actually do it, but they don't do it properly because they don't kill the guy. But they actually nail... It's like a big honour or something to be chosen. Apparently some people have been doing it, like, for 20 years. They've been the guy.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like how we have someone dress up as Santa. They're the guy that gets crucified.
Is it stigmata? Is that is it like you've done it so often that it's like healed in such a way that it's like, yeah, man. And it's like I just have a hole there now, and it's healed through, and they just put the nail through, and it's not even it's done. Yeah. It's just like it's like
getting an earring.
Yeah, with like stretches or anything. It's just in the middle of your hand.
We've got here in Iran, crucifixion is a legal option.
It's on the books.
So if someone does a crime of waging war against God, if they wage a war against God, whatever that, the Iranian state can crucify.
Correct.
Do you know when they last exercised this option?
I think they still do today. The pair of anguish.
Ooh, the pair.
The pair. Step 1. Insert small pear-shaped instrument into the anus, vagina, or mouth of the criminal. Step 2. Slowly separate the instrument's four leaves from each other with the screw mechanism, expanding enough to mutilate the criminal.
Yeah.
Step 3. Ask the criminal questions if they're not already dead.
What kind of question? Like, so what are you having for dinner if you survive?
It's like, now I'm going to ask you about your plot. Oh, he's died. It's like rats. Ask questions, then pair of anguish.
Yeah.
Then ratchet him up to 11, you know. Spain and Portugal for liars.
Yeah.
That's all I had. So heresy, blasphemy, adultery, extracting confessions, women inducing miscarriages,
Yeah.
sodomy, and homosexuality. In Italy, in France, sexual crimes, witchcraft, and heresy. Italy for sexual crimes, witchcraft, and heresy. The Dutch. Apparently, it was used by criminal gangs, sort of like in a mafioso sort of thing. Like, you know, oh, get a stick of the pear in here, and for. The American colonies, apparently, they did it with slavery, refusing sexual advances or lying. That doesn't seem like it was a state-sanctioned thing. And I have it in brackets underneath here. It's worth mentioning that it's possible that none of this is true. LOL.
How am I going to say this? Keel hauling.
Keel hauling.
Keel hauling.
That's a good one for you to have picked up, actually.
Step 1. Tie a misbehaving sailor up with a rope.
Mm-hmm.
Haul the naughty sailor backwards and forwards along the bottom of the barnacle-covered ship until dead. Step 3. If you're Dutch, like I am, continue doing step 2, but in shorter intervals. Rest for 15 minutes between sessions and repeat until dead. So what, they just hang them off the side of the ship?
You put a rope between them, right?
Ah.
So you haul them across, think like almost like flossing your teeth,
Right,
right?
under the boat.
But under the boat, so you're slicing them into bits, and so you've got the blokes on the deck, and then you
They like drown first?
well, then you pull them up, old mates above the water, and then they pull them back across. And apparently, all seafaring sort of cultures have done some version of this, but there was some. I don't know. There was an exception when I was looking it up that the Dutch did exactly this, like same as everyone else, except they do it in shorter intervals. So rather than the person just
I guess
dying,
you get tired, you know?
yeah, you just do it in 15-minute chunks.
Yeah.
So you like let them sort of recover, catch their breath or whatever, and then go again.
So, yeah, Dutch, ancient Greece, France, England, ancient Egypt may have done all of these things.
And by may have, it's on the piece of paper, so it actually happened. The thumb screw. Pillywinks in Scotland.
Yeah.
It's,
Kind of sounds a bit cute. Doesn't it?
yeah, it's a funny name for something that is ultimately just thumb in the vice and you turn, it's like, ah! You know? Step 1, place criminals.
Ever hit you? I'm sure you would have hit your thumb with a hammer.
It's not good.
It's so painful. I wouldn't last 2 seconds. If that one in particular.
And the torque of it as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the pressure doesn't go because it's the screw mechanism. It's just a constant. Step 1, place the criminal's fingers and toes, tongue, or whatever other appendages at your disposal under screw mechanism. Penis. Tongue. Step 2, twist until the pips squeak. Step 3, release criminal when the desired outcome has been achieved. To dilator of infection. The British Isles, they did it apparently for matters of state security, treason, sedition, witchcraft, extracting confessions. Continental Europe, pretty broad, but for religious and political dissent, enforcing obedience and witchcraft, or against witchcraft. American colonies, the same, treason, witchcraft, confessions. Russia, funny enough, apparently this is where it came from. For military punishment for misbehaving soldiers.
Right, yeah.
So you're being a bit of a coward, you get your thumb squished. China, quote, used against women for various crimes.
That's just broad enough that you could apply that to anything. flame. So step 1, secure the criminal. Step 2, peel them like a banana with a sharp blade. Step 3, show off human curtain to the screaming meat. I'm imagining I've always imagined flame like you're peeling a potato or something.
Yeah, me too. It's dreadful.
So,
you know, like if you ever like, not a cut, but like a scoop, like you've got a little scallop out, and it's, you know, at least if it's a cut or it's something that's sort of been a slice, sort of sits over and you have a band-aid, but at least even if it's a dead bit of skin, it's sitting over it, so you're not constantly, you know, but like when it's a scoop, it's just no matter what you do, it's dreadful.
I've kind of seen it actually. I saw a guy once, and I had to help him because he had a big mountain bike crash, and on his knee, he got this huge cut like that, and it was big enough that, like, you could see his like kneecap bone, like the skin essentially just flapped off. Like
His skeleton was trying to escape.
Yeah, I'd imagine that's what it would be like. But they used it in ancient Assyria. They were known for their torture and violence methods.
Separating the meat man and the curtain.
Ancient Persia for corruption. Medieval Europe, high treason, crimes against the state and church, robbery. China, corruption and embezzlement. It was made illegal in 1905 in China. Mesoamerica, ritual sacrifice. Up on the pyramids, I guess.
Yep.
And ancient Rome, being a loud and proud Christian or Jew. I think that's fair.
There's a couple of the apostles that
we did say at the start of this that there's no victims.
No, there are no victims at all.
They must have deserved it.
Every single one of these is a certain conviction.
It's a victimless punishment.
Yep. It took going through it, like no victims at all. Remove it. It's like no condemned man, punished man, criminal. You know, just all of these words, but it's just like no victim anywhere. You know, and all of my many Googlings with this, it's just like everything's like, oh yes, and then the victim was like, no, not having it.
No.
He was judged by a jury. He was judged by a jury of his peers. He's been found wrong. The gridiron. Quote, brackets, like a Bunnings snag. So step 1, preheat grill. Step 2, baste criminal in oil. Step 3, place criminal on grill. And step 4, cook criminal until dead. Flip occasionally if required. And so it's just a big grill.
Yeah, like a pig on a roast kind of thing.
Not quite on a spit, but more like you cover the person in oil and then you throw them on. So like just I don't know. It's a circular thing of like it's just like a grill is just like a grill, but you know it's got the. You know, you get the sear lines on the steak.
Yeah,
it's kind of like that. So like, oh mate, it's just tossed on there. And ancient Rome, they for general state defiance, pretty broad, and practicing forbidden religions, i.e. Christianity. There are a lot of grilled Christians.
Yeah, probably deserved it. It was a forbidden religion.
That is correct. This is the law. You are acting outside the law, like a Bunnings snag.
On you go.
On you go. Or to heaven. Medieval Europe, apparently it was for extracting confessions. You know, like, where is she? Heresy, practicing witchcraft. Fair enough. Did you name my star sign as this? Or Venus is in retrograde? And it's like...
on the grill.
On the grill. And it was used as general capital punishment. In China, they had one called the tiger chair, which was instead of a grill, it was like kind of an iron chair, but the iron chair's been heated up.
Right. Yeah.
And then they just fasten you to the chair and just sort of like sit there cooking on it.
Yeah.
So one side's going to be burnt, and anyway, it's not very nice. But the fact that they call it the tiger chair is just like, yeah, of course you do.
Couldn't be too much fun.
The Iroquois Nation, I think it's a Native American thing. As part of a cycle of revenge for deaths in battle, they do this thing for mourning wars, and yeah, they just throw you on fire and cook you. It's like prisoner of war. You killed my dad. Cook you for lunch. And the Comanche, same thing, I guess. I'm sure they're very different. It's like, yeah, they still cooked people and they're Native Americans. But for prisoners of war, and the practice is described as a community event with men and women often participating, and yeah, fear, intimidation, and demonstration of power. So it's just like, yeah, we're having a great time. It's all mates like, in the fire, and then you have a bunch of other prisoners sitting there as well, like, holy shit. Oh, God. Oh, what are they doing? This is, I don't know, not Christian or whatever. And everyone's like...
Step 1. Place a criminal in a spiky box. Close spiky box. Mop floor around spiky box. So it's like a sarcophagus.
Yeah, there's a spiky sarcophagus, and you close it, and then presumably the juices come out, and you just sort of...
Right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Did the spikes, was it such that it would pierce their skin, or was it kind of like so close that if you moved at all, you would get spikes?
It would pierce. Like, you'd probably need someone to jump on the box just to, as it closed, just to really get you. But there's lots of fake Iron Maiden stuff. Like, there was a... I don't know what you call it. There was a market in the Victorian age, and I'm sure it's the same as before then as it is now, whereas the sensationalist element of like, and this is what they used to do in the medieval age, and so you'd have some, say, circus ringleader, but it's not quite that, some salesman sort of saying, and this is this crazy metal box, and this is what they used to use, and and you've got lots of them that, again, are 200, 300, 400 years old, but they could have just sort of been a prop thing. So there's lots of them where you've sort of got the face mask, and you've got some when you close the box, it gets you in the eyes, and it's mutilates genitals and all that sort of thing. But historically, its use is a bit dubious.
Yeah. And you've got to hear that maybe they used it in modern day Iraq.
They didn't, maybe. They actually did. They did.
Supposedly, some Americans found a wet one that the state used frequently in 2023.
So it's like the whole history of the Iron Maiden is a bit dubious. But the Iraqis, Saddam Hussein, God bless him, that was real. Because when the Americans invaded the country and like toppled the government and that, they found a fucking wet one that they had been using. So everything else is up for debate, but not that. The braking wheel. Step 1, you fix the criminal to the spokes of a large wooden cartwheel. Step 2, you and maybe a buddy take turns in smashing the criminal's limbs to splinters with an iron bar or club. Step 3, when you run out of bones to break or get bored, leave the twisted mass of the criminal to die of exposure or for the birds to eat.
Right.
In the German states and Holy Roman Empire, who practice this, for aggravated murder, highway robbery, denial of Christian, and it was for denial of Christian burial customs and enforcement of social norms. So, like, you're drunk in public.
On the wheel.
Yeah, on the wheel. And we're not going to bury you. We're just going to smash you to pieces until you're a twisted, squirming ribbon of a fleshy mass, and then good luck. The birds, maybe. In France, murder and crimes that harm the state in a public theatre. Scotland, high treason based. Sweden, Denmark, Portugal, Italy, Russia, for serious offences, capital crimes, and used as a deterrent against other offenders. Like, bang, you smash it. You're like, oh, you're smashing me to pieces, and we're like, yeah, we're smashing you to pieces. And the guy watching is like, oh man, I'm not going to do that.
The Heretic's Fork. Step 1: place the two-pronged fork under the criminal's chin and against their sternum. So I guess a spike there and a spike.
Yeah, it's kind of sitting like that, and you can't.
Keeping them in an unnatural position while forcing them to stand up. So it was like a thing that went on their shoulders, and it sort of spike there and spike on their chest. So they had to keep their chin.
You can't lower, like your head's kind of at its most far back, and you can't, relax, and you might be placed this way, so you have to physically hold your head up, because otherwise,
So if you go down like that, you get spiked through there, or you'll get the spike go on your chest. So step 2: wait a while, ask questions, let sleep deprivation and delirium kick in, and combined with other forms of torture if you are bored. So they did this in Spain, Portugal, Italy, the colonies, Mexico, Peru, and Goa/India. Goa was a Portuguese city in India. For religious crimes, confession, silencing dissent, witches, being a non-Catholic, control and fear, etc.
etc.
We endorse all of this, by the way, as effective forms of punishment.
Well, if you're convicted, rightfully, yeah, absolutely. Like everyone has been for all time.
Yeah. The ones that we don't mention in this podcast are the ones that we don't endorse. Anything mentioned, we do endorse.
If you found yourself being crucified one day, and not verbally, but like physically, banged up on the cross, right?
Yeah.
Would you not just take the opportunity to be like, Father? Because I would. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Even like, oh my God, it's like, this is actually happening. I'm in a lot of pain. This is terrible. I'm about to die. Once you get all that stuff out of the way, it's like, when am I ever going to get this opportunity?
Any last words?
Father! The Brazen Bull. Are you familiar with the Brazen Bull?
I've heard of it.
Step 1, build or find hollow life-sized bronze bull with an organ-like pipes coming from the main chamber. Step 2, place criminal inside bull. Step 3, light fire beneath bull oven. Step 4, sit back, relax, and with the power of a little cognitive dissonance, enjoy the beautiful music coming from the horror oven. I'm actually pretty proud of that. In ancient Greece and Sicily, it was enemies of the state, apparently various crimes / entertainment.
Would be a good entertainment.
Well, it's a giant bronze bull. You put someone in there and it's like, but anyone's like, yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
No, it's like, the Roman Empire for punishing enemies of the state and cooking Christian martyrs. Yeah. Apparently that was the thing. And Carthage. No recorded uses. It's just funny to note that they nicked the one that Sicily had. Because apparently,
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, well, when they invaded...
When you see innovation, you've got to take the bull by the horns, as it were.
Well, when when they invaded Sicily, and I guess this is sort of around the Roman, there's Roman Punic kind of war in that. They've gone in and they've seen it and gone, that's cool, nicked it, and then you have Roman sources afterwards when they're in Carthage being like, yeah, that's where that went.
The Sundance. self-inflicted.
It's a self-inflicted one.
It's used by the Lakota peoples and other plains tribes as a spiritual sacrifice to the Great Spirit and a test of one's own strength, vision, seeking a powerful offering for the good of the tribe. So step 1, you pierce oneself in the chest or back with skewers. Is that like acupuncture kind of?
Kind of like little hooks, like they get in there under the skin and
Attach ropes to your skull or central pole with skewers, and then pull on the ropes until the skewers are torn free.
Yeah.
If you don't die, enjoy your renewed spiritual strength. So essentially, they just like have all these hooks on it and tie ropes to somewhere, which get yanked.
Yeah.
So it yanks all the flesh off them.
Yep.
And then that's it.
That's it. So I mean, it's like you've got like imagine if they wouldn't have had this, but like the equivalent, right? Like so, let's say you've got a bunch of fishing hooks with string attached to them, right? And you get yourself as many places as you can, and back to the skull and whatever, and you sit there and you go, and you rip free from it, and you've accomplished something.
Right.
This is a very long segment. I could have saved myself about 2 weeks of fucking stress if I halved this. The Judas chair. Step 1, slowly place a vaginal canal or anus over the point of a pyramid-shaped chair.
Yeah.
Step 2, lower, say, one step through, victim. Lower criminal onto chair, stretching orifice and causing internal mutilation.
Yeah.
If the moment calls for it and you're feeling it, have a laugh as the criminal dies. It's really stretching my creative writing skills. This might be a bold one, but like I think I'd prefer exposure or crucifixion to sitting on the pointy chair. That's just, I don't know about you. I don't have a vagina, but it seems like a pretty sensitive area. Speaking as someone who owns a butthole, also don't like it. The Spanish did this for heresy and non-conformity. Seems a bit...
So like if you wore a different kind of hat or something.
These blokes walking down with a sombrero, right? He's having a great time, and then there's a bloke on the other side of the road with like one of those conventional party hats.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't wear those.
Yeah, you're not conforming.
Medieval Germany for various serious crimes, witchcraft, devil worship, and heresy. But I mean, that's kind of just witchcraft. Oh, and I have at the bottom. It's worth mentioning that it's possible that none of this is true. LOL. But the method is enough that I'm like, okay, well, it seems plausible.
The blood eagle.
It's my favorite.
Sounds exciting.
It is exciting.
So they practice this. The Vikings. Vikings did this.
Yeah.
For avenging the death of your father or a sacrifice to Odin. So slice the back of a criminal to gain access to the ribs on both sides.
Yeah.
Break the ribs and twist upwards to look like wings.
Mm-hmm.
Pour salt into the wounds. Pull lungs out and drape over rib wings for effect. Leave old man out in the smoke for a while to show off to your friends. Pretty horrible.
It's creative. I don't know if it's torturous. I mean,
it's more an execution. I don't know how.
But the salt in the wound. Like, do you waste valuable sodium on a dead person, or are you just like the person's like, you're breaking my lungs.
My ribs.
And you're like, yeah, I'm breaking your ribs, and he's just like, and he's like, oh, you're pulling my lungs out, and you're like, yeah, I'm pulling your lungs out, and you're like, oh no, you're salting the wound. It is a ridiculous set of. That's why I have like and the reason for it's like avenging your father, like dunking or cucking stool. Picture a seesaw.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, the idea is you sort of have somebody sort of like tied, like, like planking, kind of like
across
on the
it, yeah.
across it, right? And then you have a bucket of water underneath it. So you just sort of like plonk the seesaw backwards and forwards, and they're like, "Fuck you, fuck you," backwards and forwards, and so yeah, dunk them upside down like a tea bag repeatedly.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not an execution method, generally speaking, but it was very public in the British Isles. So, just as a guess, what do you think the public dunking like a tea bag on the seesaw would have been as far as a state punishment in England?
Oh. Maybe like thievery,
Nope.
murder,
Nope.
not showing up to work.
This punishment was reserved for loud, argumentative, and gossipy women. Punishing dishonest tradesmen who sold adulterated goods. Public disorder for drunkenness. And testing whether or not a woman was a disgusting witch or not. Which I suppose could go under argumentative and gossipy.
Yeah. No, not a passive witch.
But how's that though? It's just like, did you hear that Susan said this? And it's just like, yeah, I know. Her house has always been that way. So it's just like, right, dunk.
The thing I was thinking of divorcing her.
Yeah, it's just like, do you hear our mate we're gonna split up, and it's just like, well, how about you tell that to the fucking judge, bitch?
This is a good one. Scaphism, or the boats. Done in the ancient Persian Empire for high treason against the state or the monarch. Kind of the same thing. So you feed the criminal lots of honey and milk, and then you sort of lay them in a boat, and then put another boat on top. So it's like their head and their hands and feet are sticking out.
You feed them full of yummy honey.
And then you push the boat out onto like a lake or something, or leave until the criminals poop themselves to death, or has been eaten alive by insect and vermin about 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, apparently 2.5 weeks is the golden.
I guess you'd have like vultures and all sorts of things like pecking at their hands and things as well.
You're like, oh, stop it, but also things crawling up your butt. all that other really not nice things. Like,
and if you're shitting yourself, you'd have all sorts of insects and things.
And then I think, and I didn't mention it on the card, but like they smear you as well.
Yeah,
so it's not like, so as you're sort of laying that, you've got this discomfort with the creepy crawlies. You've got that trying to stop shit from being near your face. You're getting like sort of, and then also you have to like, it's 2 weeks of tensing your ass as much as you possibly can, because you're also, not only are you shitting yourself, but you've got foreign invaders.
It kind of reminds me a bit of when I was a kid watching the Mummy movie, and one of the it always.
Is this the Brendan Fraser?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The scariest thing was when they'd have the scarab beetles and they'd burrow into your skin, and then you could, it's bad CGI now, but you'd see that these scarab things are crawling under people's skin.
To this day, that is still my reference whenever you have like something with an ice addict and they're like, the bugs are in my skin. I'm like, yeah like that.
Yeah.
Falling. Step 1, get the criminal to the ledge of a high place. Step 2, toss them off. In ancient Rome, they loved high places. They murderers and traitors.
Yeah.
You get the clip. You're like,
What was it? Anyway, I forget the name of it. There's a famous sort of clip in Rome that they would.
Yeah, I know the one you meant. What I was going to say is like, hey, funny, we had a history podcast and you can tell us all about it. In ancient Greece, it was for sacrilegious behavior. I love past, Alex. Ancient and modern Islamic states for being gay. Love it.
3 left. So third last, the boot. Boot. This was practiced in the British Isles for treason, sedition, witchcraft, and being Irish Catholic. Germany, the Holy Roman Empire, for serious capital crimes, public shaming, and determines for even more serious crimes, and for being a cobbler who made poor quality shoes. What? That must be the serious crime.
When I see things like that, that is so specific and particular that it makes me think that like that's the most real instance of all of it. It's not like broad. It's like we were used for this or whatever. It's just like, no,
You made poor quality shoes.
you're done.
And on the in modern day Malaysia and Singapore, for extracting confessions for again serious crimes and enforcing discipline. But the boot put criminals' feet in tightly fitted wooden or iron boots, tighten boot with wooden wedges.
I think what they do is it was some kind of mechanism where you put your foot into the thing, and then like it was very well fitting, but then they'd bang wedges in the side, sort of making it constrict more and more, and
Yeah.
you know,
And then they tighten. So it's like a mechanism that would just slowly crush your feet.
yeah. But it's. I think later on, if it's the Renaissance and that, they would have had like a screw mechanism that would have got you, but because it was used earlier than that, and in Southeast Asia where they didn't have fine machining, you know, you'd have a thing and then it's wedges. You're banging wedges. It's like another wedge and then another one and then another one, and then just slowly
Crushes your foot.
yeah, just turning them to dust.
Kind of like the thumb screw, but
your feet. Yeah. The tongue terror. It's basically just a iron pair of tongs. So you just like,
yeah.
right? Step 1, get your special tongue tongs. Step 2, heat them up on the fire. Step 3, grab the criminal's tongue. And step 4, pull it out. And the Byzantians were pretty famous for this. And their reason was blasphemy, heresy, and I was talking to Dad about this actually, because, you know, Dad's my guinea pig with a lot of this stuff. You know, when I bring it up to him, and you know, political disfigurement. You know, he's just like, oh, what's you know, what does politics have to do with that? I'm like, well, let's say you've got a big royal family, right? And you know, like someone's next for the throne, with it's like Justinian or whatever. Suddenly, then you're like, oh, I'm worried about this person getting in power, but I can't assassinate them. I can't do, whatever, because then whatever party. So what you can do, however, is in the middle of the night, you can put out their eyes and pull out their tongue. So all of a sudden, this person no longer has any ability to be a leader in politics going forward. So
I think it was even more than that. I was reading a book about the Byzantium and the emperors, and there were I don't know if it was like a rule or if it was just like a convention or what, but if you were disfigured, you were ineligible to become the emperor.
It's like nose, ears, all of that.
So it was a common punishment, I guess. They'd blind people, or like you say, pull out their tongue.
Belisarius. I'm sure you'd be familiar with the general, and poor Belisarius, begging in the streets, and at the end of his story, after being the best general that Rome, the Eastern Roman Empire, whatever, has ever seen, and all of his years of loyalty and everything, and he's still, what did they do to him? Popped out his eyes, and he's still with a bowl on the street. It's pretty nasty, actually. It's funny. I'm obviously not an expert, but I've spent most of my adult life being a fan of Rome, and you've got like the Western Roman Empire, and you've got stories of like Caligula, and the four emperors, and like Augustus and Caesar, and you go even further back, and you get the Republic, and like the Eastern Empire, for some reason gets completely omitted because it's a separate thing, or people say it's Greek or whatever. The Eastern Roman Empire is really fucking interesting.
I know.
The scheming and the plots and sort of like, honestly, I might like it more. The older I get, the more I sort of think that like I'm like.
Also, I think there's more information about it. You know, it was medieval and Christian.
Yeah.
And yeah, but no, I 100% agree. I think it's often overlooked, and you sort of bypass it and you go, like, but it's
I wonder if it's a bias of, as you've said multiple times, the Undisputed Englishman, and you know, sort of being in that Anglo sphere of things, and maybe like, you know, you breathe a little bit more of the Roman Empire, the Western Roman Empire and stuff. Whereas if you have a conversation with someone who's Russian or Turkish, they'll probably more talk about Islam, but I mean, like, or Greek, you know, you're like, and you're from Eastern Europe, maybe it's less Caesar, Augustus, and more, you know, Belisarius and those fellas, you know, because it's more orthodox, I guess.
They'd probably reference even the medieval. Like I remember when I was reading about it for another video. Apparently there's a legend in Greece that the last emperor of Constantinople, or the Roman Empire essentially, Constantine
the Great.
I can never. No, not the Great.
Not that one.
I can never. If I say the name wrong, sorry, but Constantine Palaiologos, the last sort of emperor, he got killed in 1453 when the Turks took over or captured Constantinople, and he had this like big last stand, you know, and like the story goes that he you know, he's in his armor and stuff, and his servants come and go, "Hey, Constantine, we've got to go. Like the city's gone." And he, I can't remember exactly, but he said something to the effect of, "No, I'm fighting till the end. Let's go, boys.
We'll fight them on the beaches."
Yeah,
you know, you cannot negotiate with the tiger with your head in its mouth.
Yeah, like, he charges off to the walls, and no one ever saw him again.
Yeah,
obviously got killed. But there's a
say no, or you live forever.
Well, there's a legend or a myth that sort of went up right until early modern times in Greece, like right around when the Greek state was being formed, that Constantine will return again in his glory to reinstate the empire, or to renew the empire once again.
I'm guessing he didn't, because otherwise he would have featured in my resurrection.
Yeah, he was not resurrected as far as I know.
Yet.
Or I don't even know that he was killed. So yeah, there you go. I don't know I can't remember the point of that story. But
I just, before we go any to, I mean, we've already wandered off into the weeds, but I say the tongue tearing, medieval Europe, blasphemy, heresy, sedition, insulting the monarch, authority figures, witchcraft, extracting confessions.
sure.
No, do you rip someone's tongue out and then ask them questions?
Write it down.
Maybe I'm just not giving them enough credit, and I'm saying just that they're all illiterate. They're morons. Silencing gossipy women. And the Middle East, and past Alex has put, I refuse to believe they didn't get in on the action.
And so the last one, and I've got one extra special one.
Ooh.
The last one, boiling. Seems pretty straightforward. Put a big kettle on, put the criminal in, and then cook them until they're dead. It's like, be like what's the thing? Like the analogy, you put a frog in the water.
Yeah, the boiling frog. It's
And do they actually know? Because it just gets gradually hotter and hotter.
The temperature goes up, and the frog will be happy, allegedly, as the expression goes.
Yeah.
But if you just were to get a frog and go,
chuck him in boiling water.
And he goes, no, and that's really hot, and he leaves.
So maybe that was the same for these criminals. But I was used in England for murderers who specifically used poison. Interesting. Scotland, conspiracy against the king. Holy Roman Empire. The Dutch Republic for serious crimes. Papal States for heresy. Japan. The Mughal Empire in India. Mongol Empire for being a rival general to the Khan.
That's what you get.
China, Uzbekistan. So it seems like it's pretty widespread.
It is anywhere where we figured out how to heat up water. It's kind of there is one I forgot to mention in there, and I mean it's something I've saw on the internet, but the Japanese would, when they in World War II, when they invaded Korea, or liberated Korea, depending who you were and when, they'd have tie someone up by their ankles, pull them up over a branch, and just sort of like dunk them in boiling water and be like, dunk. Ah! Ah!
So my last bonus one that wasn't mentioned, it's a medieval torture method.
Yep.
I'll just check this now. No more.
The bucket of unfortunate circumstances has been emptied.
A torture / execution method used by none other than Dracula, or the inspiration for Dracula.
I was going to say, is it divorce?
Vlad the Impaler. He was he was the ruler of Wallachia.
Sorry, the look is just because I think I figured out what you're going to say.
So Wallachia, well, it's like modern Romania, and I've sort of been there, and you go to these castles, and it does look like if whatever you have in your head of Dracula's castle, that's what it looks like. And Vlad the Impaler and this area, Wallachia or Transylvania, was the inspiration for Bram Stoker to write Dracula. This is sort of where. And anyway, Vlad the Impaler got his name because he loved to impale his enemies. And the way that he did it, he would use a very thin spike, and he would slowly lower his enemies on there through the anus. And apparently he got so good at it that he could get this spike, this kind of thin metal spike, to go through the anus and come out your mouth.
So you're like...
Yeah, so you skew it on this thing, and and because it was so thin, it wouldn't make a huge wound or anything like that. So just put you there, and you'd be there for days, just like that. And so he got it down to an art, and that's how he would impale his enemies.
Isn't just on the subject of Vlad? I'd love to do an episode on him one day, but isn't it like he's impaled 30,000 muzzies, and and the Sultan or Ottoman or whatever, he's the information's come back to him, and he's gone, this is not on. I'm going to go and sort Vlad out. And so he's marched up, and then when he's got to Romania or the castle or whatever, the area surrounding it was filled with described as a forest of skewered, turbaned, Muslim invader. The army was again described as a forest around the outside of it, and the Sultans kind of looked at it and gone, well, Vlad the Impaler is a great man,
I prefer it back in Istanbul.
Yeah, it was it's well, I was going to go and, sort him out, but, it's but when I got there and I saw this, I realized how much of a great man he is. And, honestly, I'm not even going to, so on one side you get the, he's oh, now, it just as a great man of history, I'm recognizing another great man of history, and it's I'm not going to sort of mess with him. On the other side of it, you look at it and you're like, holy fuck. Yeah. You're shit his pants and just, nope, going home. What a great man. See you next time.
Thanks for watching.